What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. This is Strength for Today's Man, Volume 110. See, I had to slow down because my wife thinks I talk too fast and you guys don't understand what I'm talking about. So I wanted to slow that down so you guys can hear me clearly and plainly. This is Strength for Today's Man, Volume 110. Now, with that being out the way, let's go to Hebrews 11:13 because I want to talk about true vision today. This week I talked about true power, but I want to talk about true vision and what that means to us as men and women of God, what that means to us as business owners, and what that means to us as spiritual leaders. And some of this has nothing to do with when we quote Proverbs 29:18. That we need to get a real handle on and the true translation of what that really means. We quote a lot of stuff out of the Bible, but we really don't have the true meaning, the true translation of what we are quoting. It just sounds good. Granted, it sounds good when we quote it. At the times that we quote it, it's when we see certain things in business and in ministry. We want it to be. However, we need to get the real translation of what we are quoting. Hebrews 11:13 says, all these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised. They saw them and welcomed them from a distance, admitting that they were foreigners and strangers on earth. True vision. Can I help you guys right quick before we get into what I want to really discuss in this short, brief time that we have together? Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Of course, this is true that having an idea of where one is headed helps in getting there. It helps to know where we're going. It helps to understand the path that we're on. Proverbs 29:18 is not talking about having a business or ministry vision. It's really not. Okay? I know you guys want to debate that. Other translations of the Bible help clarify the point that Proverbs 29:18 for modern readers, the NIV puts it this way: where there is no revelation, people cast off restraint, but blessed is the one who needs wisdom's instructions. Now, the English Standard Version says it, where there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraints, but blessed is he who keeps the law. Hear me on this, guys, because this is important for you to understand. When you start talking about vision, when you start talking about going places in God, when you start talking about moving forward in business, it's important that you understand that quoting Proverbs 29:18 has nothing to do with business and a ministry vision. The vision that's talked about in Proverbs 29:18, in this verse, it refers to a divine communication as from a dream, revelation, or prophecy. You have to understand during this time in the Bible, when God spoke to the people, he spoke through prophets. It was a prophetic word. When we live pursuing a vision, we sweep others right into the movement. We want everybody to come along. We want everybody to be a part of the vision. We want everybody to be a part of what we're getting ready to do in business and in ministry. We want everybody on board because, one, we need financial support. We need people to back us. We need people there to help us. Now, that's natural. However, here's what we need to understand. We need to understand that the vision is of secondary importance to the pursuit. Oh, that needs to be repeated right there. The vision is of secondary importance to the pursuit. Hebrews 11:13 explains that the people of faith did not receive the things promised. How many times have people promised you something and you didn't receive it? How many times people have said, I'm going to do this for you, and they didn't come through? How many times have you been disappointed by man because they promised something and didn't go through with it? The people here that the writer is talking about, they did not receive the things promised to them. They did not see their vision fulfilled. Now that's strong, but they were people of faith. Here's some things that we need to deal with. Did that make them failures? Did that void their noble living? Did that make their lives a waste? I have to say emphatically no to all of those questions. It did not mean that they were failures. It did not mean that their life of living nobly was a waste. It was not a void. It did not mean that their faith in living for God during that time was a waste. Now, let me bring it home. Just because some of your goals and dreams do not come to pass right now does not mean you're a failure. Just because some of your goals and dreams do not come to pass when you wanted to does not mean that your life is a void. Just because certain things that you want right now you have to wait for, it does not mean that you are wasting your life. I'm going to be 63. There's a lot of things that didn't come to pass in my life. There's a lot of things that I wished for it didn't come to pass. There's a lot of things that I had goals and dreams of accomplishing didn't come to pass. But I have to realize that does not mean that my life was a void. That does not mean that my life was a waste. That does not mean that I was a failure. Doesn't mean that I'm a failure now. It just means that I'm going to continue to trust God. I'm going to continue to hold on to God's hand because I know that whatever happens in the future is because He purposed it. Just because it didn't happen in the past does not mean it's not going to happen in the future. We're on a purposed journey. Now we have to understand that everything has its place in God. Here's something else. If the vision itself is of primary importance, an unfulfilled vision voids all that precedes. In other words, if your dreams are dashed, your pursuit was a waste of time and effort. But if the dreams is secondary to the pursuit, a strange thing happens. When you lose, you still win. When you don't get the championship ring, your dignity still remains. People that watch the championship games, basketball, football, whatever it is, when the winning team goes off and gets their trophy, goes off and get their rings, they're all happy. They're all just elated. Now, go back to those that didn't win. They're down in the dumps. They feel like failures, but they made it to the championship. Their dignity is still intact. Their dignity remains. Just because you didn't get the championship ring, just because you didn't get the championship trophy, does not mean that you're a failure. You made it further than all the other teams that were playing. You made it to the championship. That still makes you successful. If you don't get the job, your life is still intact. If your dreams doesn't materialize, you can still inspire others to pursue their dreams, to pursue their goals, to pursue their happiness, whatever their happiness is. I don't know what people's happiness is. We all have different levels of happiness. Living in pursuit of a vision will shape how we live. If the pursuit of our vision is of primary importance, we can still inspire others to pursue their dreams and goals, even if we only greet ours from afar. Just like those in the Bible that did not see what was promised to them. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance. Sometimes we're going to see our goals and our dreams only from a distance. But that doesn't stop true vision. Let me close with this. God, give me eyes to see that you surround me as I live in pursuit. May my pursuit inspire others to dream big and go after their vision. True vision. That's midnight right there. This is live. This is Strength for Today's Man, Volume 110. Thank you guys for being here today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the channel if something that lifted your spirits. Share the channel with someone else. You don't want to keep it to yourself. You want to share the wealth. I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow on the next podcast. You guys be blessed.